Phrases in this video may trigger Google Assistant. If you have one, please consider muting it or listening with headphones. The newest trick for Google Assistant is something called routines. It allows you to string together a number of actions by saying just one key phrase, and I'm going to test it out. So routines is something that's been promised for a few months by Google. It is a feature that's already on Amazon Alexa, so Google Assistant playing a little bit of catch up in this case. There are going to be 6 initial routines, one for when you wake up, one for when you go to sleep, one for when you leave your house, and one for when you come back, one for when you commute to work, and one for when you start your commute home. Initially this week, the good morning one is the one that's become available first. So I'm going to try that. I have a Google Home Mini here, and then also a lamp plugged into a Wemo smart switch, and then various other smart home devices around the place. There's my Google Home. I'm going to click the menu item here and go into More Settings and scroll up here, and in the services, one of them mentioned is routines. So I'm going to click that. And at the top there, you see the good morning routine. At the moment, no actions are defined, so let's define some actions. Click into it. So when I say good morning or tell me about my day, my assistant should, and there's a bunch of different things it can do. These will appear depending on what devices you have in your house and what Google Assistant is capable of doing. So one of the things I do want it to do is switch on the lights. So let's say adjust lights. Also, let's have it play the radio too. Now, exactly what radio station, exactly what light you want to come on, you can program in here too. So if I click the settings button at the end of that, it already knows that I have a light plugged into this smart switch. So I'm going to tell it to turn on what is called the dining room light at the moment. And then for the radio, click that again, and I can tell it to play a radio station. I've already put one in. So hopefully this should work. We've got to save it. Hopefully this should work. And now we're seeing we have 2 actions. So let's give it a try. Hey Google, good morning.
Good morning, Martin.
Yes. And the radio?
Just because of his following. I know a lot of people enjoyed it.
And there's the radio.
And well,
hey Google, stop. So that's it. Lamp comes on, radio comes on. I can accomplish these several things just by saying good morning, rather than having to go through and say, switch the lights on, switch the radio on, turn the thermostat up, all of that kind of stuff. When some of the other routines, the bedtime routine is going to be the opposite. You're going to do things like switch off the lights and turn down the radio and the thermostat. It'll also be able to tell you about tomorrow's weather and your calendar and set an alarm for you. Another example, when you start your commute home and you tell it you're doing that, that one can adjust lights and plug some thermostats in your house, so you can have the lights on and the house warmed up when you come home. It will also send texts, so I guess you could program it to send a text to someone saying, hey, I'm just leaving the office, I'm on my way home. And it could also do things like read unread text. So if there's a message you got during the day that you missed, it could tell you when you're on your way home and you're starting to figure out what you're going to do that evening. So that is Google Assistant Routines. It's already in the Google Home app. You might need to update yours. There's the good morning one there at the moment, and there are 5 more coming, and then hopefully a bunch more as well. So that's Google Assistant Routines.